You're tuned in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, guiding your gridiron journey, none other than your host, former NFL lineman, Ross Tucker.
Oh, yeah, it is. But it's not just any Ross Tucker Football Podcast. It is a Finish Strong Friday, presented, of course, as always, by DraftKings. I'm Ross Tucker, former NFL offensive lineman. Most of you know this. 5 teams, 7 years. Thank goodness. Awesome temp job in my 20s enabled me to get these broadcasting gigs. Shortly after we finish recording this morning, I'll be heading to the airport to fly to Cincinnati. Haven't been there in a couple years. Looking forward to it. Have some friends there and business partners and former teammates. At any rate, I'll be on the call tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, for the Vikings at the Bengals, National Radio, Westwood One. Love if you guys are driving around, get a chance to listen in. It's not just a Finish Strong Friday. What does that mean? I think most of you know now, but we always get new listeners or new people checking us out on YouTube. It just means I want, as you listen to this morning or whenever, finish the work week strong for your family. So you feel great about what you accomplished this week all weekend. You can have some daddy sodas. You can watch football and feel good that you did a good job for yourself and your family this week. It's also a Picks Friday with my picks for every other game in the NFL. And then a Winners Friday, which I really love. Let's start with the winners. Mike Ruland emailed me his Spotify Wrapped. That was pretty easy. I'm counting that as the Spread the Word winner. Just emailed me his Spotify Wrapped. Thank you, Mike. Email me again, ross@rosstucker.com, with what press pass you would like. How about the sponsor confirmation email winner, Ian Benstead? He got some Seahawks tickets on the glorious Game Time app. Love it, Ian. Congratulations to you. Huge fan of that app, as you guys know. And then the YouTube shout out, Kevin Caffrey. YouTube.com/RossTuckerNFL. Easiest contest I'm aware of. You literally hit the thumbs up button to subscribe, and then you reply to any video and say, Ross, I'm just here for the shout out video. I just want the cameo shout out video. And what does that mean? That means I'll do like a 30 to 45 second video for you, your family, your buddies, your fantasy team. Some guy just had me do one in case he wins his fantasy league. He wants to be able to gloat, but he said, don't say what year in case it doesn't happen for him. I love it. I love it. I also love our patrons, patreon.com/RT Media. Shout out Tim Ross, Big Show time.
The Big Show.
All right, Ross, I got a few stats about this one. The Raiders, they conduct the second largest 2-game turnaround in the Super Bowl era, and it's also the first NFL season to have 2 teams score 63 or more points in the same season in the Super Bowl era.
Jack, you loved last night. You loved it. You loved like weird scoring, lots of points, records. Like it's 42-0 at halftime. 49, and you're just like, more. Give me more. You probably love scorigamis too, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's great. I enjoyed no quote better than Antonio Pierce saying, we got to just press the gas pedal in the second half. I just saw that and smiled.
That's funny. Listen, the game was not funny. You know, it depends on your perspective, I guess. As a guy that used to play, I thought it was an embarrassing performance by the LA Chargers. Embarrassing. And I tweeted this last night, Jack, at Ross Tucker NFL. You know, I think we all know that Brandon Staley's getting fired after the year. I mean, that seems like a foregone conclusion. So maybe 2 things. One is when your team plays like that, whether it's how they feel or not, they're showing ownership they're not willing to fight for you. They want you to be fired. Secondly, and I think it's interesting that, you know, Staley knows he's getting fired, Jack. It's a done deal, right? Well, they were so bad last night, he'll probably get fired today or over the weekend. And he gets to be home for the holidays. That never happens for NFL coaches. He gets to be home for Christmas Eve and Christmas. Then he gets to be home for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Remember when Joe Judge had like 2 kegs delivered to his house or something the day after he got fired? Like that's the best coaching decision that Joe Judge made, was getting the 2 kegs delivered to his house the day after, and like the pizza guy showed up. It's incredible. It's exactly what you should do, by the way, if you get fired. What else are you gonna do? So I don't know. Maybe Brandon Staley's like, you know what? Let's just start this now. Why do I want to work 16-hour days for the next month during the holidays for nothing? I do think it's interesting. You got to think, Jack, if he could go anywhere, that would be where Belichick would want to go, right? Like, they've got real dudes, Bosa and Mack and Derwin James and Keenan Allen. And most importantly, they have a legit top 5 franchise quarterback. Belichick probably thinks he can get them far in the playoffs the next couple years. So that'll be interesting. How about 2 touchdowns for my cousin Trey last night, Jack? Trey Tucker, 2 touchdowns. I honestly lost track of how many fumbles by the Chargers. It was like, I don't know what was more embarrassing, how many times the Chargers fumbled or their effort defensively on that Brandon Bolden wildcat touchdown. There was nobody there. Like, what are you doing? What is going on? I mean, Easton Stick fumbled a couple times. He gets his Madden awareness grade will not be good. Darius Davis, the punt returner, fumbled. Some positives. Malcolm Kuntz looked good for the Raiders off the edge, opposite of what we always expect to get from Max Crosby. How about John Jenkins at least 365, Jack? At least running 15 miles an hour. Think about that. Think about someone 365 pounds running into you at 15 miles an hour. I think people think, oh, 15 miles an hour isn't that fast. It is if you're getting hit by it. I mean, I can assure you that Jack Jones pick 6 was sweet. How about the Raiders? Did you like the Raiders running trick plays up 42-0?
Thought it was
fun. You do,
fun.
don't you?
Yeah, it's fun.
So I guess in pro football, I understand it, but I'm not the biggest fan of that. I thought Aiden O'Connell looked good. I will say this. I called the only game that was more one-sided at halftime. 49-0, Patriots-Titans. I called that game, Jack. That was my second year out of the NFL, 2009, in the snow, in New England. I think both teams wore their throwbacks, the Patriots and the Titans. Look that game up. That was an interesting game. In the snow, they were up 49-0, which you would have thought would be impossible. And it was really snowing. And it's also really a couple weeks left in the year. So in football, the fourth quarter is where the magic happens. It's where games are won. It's where champions are made. In business, it's where sales teams become legends. That's why HubSpot built Sales Hub, to give sales reps the deal-making tools they need to win their Q4. Sales Hub's prospecting workspace organizes your schedule, goals, and to-do list in one place to save your team precious fourth quarter time. And Smart Sequences help sales reps close deals faster than ever. So get ready to dominate Q4 with Sales Hub. Learn more at HubSpot.com/sales.
Want to know which team is going to win every single game on Sunday? Then listen up.
So they did wear throwbacks in that 2009 game because it was the 50th anniversary of the AFL. So we'll move forward to a game.
Dude, you're quick on the Google there. Nice.
Well, I also remembered it from many reasons, but we'll move to a game that you might know a thing or two about. Vikings at the Bengals.
I know a lot about it. Listen, I think it's hard to pick the Vikings to win the game. I mean, they might, but you have the unknown of Nick Mullins. The Vikings are coming off of scoring 3 points. You have the unknown of Nick Mullins in his first start with the Vikings against the Bengals team that's really playing much better. They're playing better on defense, and they've scored 34 points the last 2 games. They're averaging 440 yards of offense. I mean, Jake Browning looks like a very competent NFL quarterback right now. I like the Bengals in this game, although the Vikings defense has played so well. Keep your eye on screen passes. Screens are going to be one of the keys to the game because the Vikings blitz a lot. Bengals really good at screens. I think it probably ends up 23-16 Bengals.
Next, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are at the Indianapolis Colts.
I think I'm going to go with the Colts. I mean, that was a poor performance by them last week against the Bengals, but they've been pretty good this year. Still no Jonathan Taylor. He's still dealing with that thumb injury, but I expect them to bounce back and play better at home with that crowd. They still are very much in the thick of things for a playoff race. Although picking the Steelers to lose 3 straight, that's rough. But every argument I would have, Jack, for why I think the Steelers would win this game, except for one, I guess, is, well, the Steelers always bounce back from games like that. But they didn't the last time. So that changes things. The only thing I will say in the Steelers' favor is they had 10 days to rest and prepare for this one as opposed to the Colts. So the Steelers should really be refreshed and come out. So look for the Steelers to have a fast start. Still taking Minshew, essentially, over Trubisky. 17-16 Colts.
One of the more exciting games of the weekend. We got Denver Broncos at the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be on the plane for like the first half and then listening to it on the radio for the second half, which will be awesome. I love, Jack, when I'm driving after a game or at the airport and there's a good game on to listen to. Like, it makes the drive go so much faster. I'm going Detroit. I don't necessarily feel great about it, but I think that they're going to bounce back from that poor performance against the Bears. I think they're going to get this win. You know, for the Broncos, that place Saturday night is going to be rocking in Detroit. You know, those fans are still more excited about this team than they have been in a long, long time. But this, I mean, I honestly think all 3 of these games could be really close. I think this one as well. I got to give the benefit of the doubt to the Lions at home in a game like this. I think Goff will play much better. I think the Lions defense actually will play better as well at home. Let's go Detroit 24, Denver 20.
Next is one of the games this weekend, the Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers.
You love saying that. You love saying one of the games that will be played or whatever. Well, I mean, Carolina, I don't even know what to say about them other than you're just hoping that Bryce Young plays better these last 4 games. Like, almost the only thing that matters now is the young guys, getting them experience and playing time, and getting Bryce Young, like doing something to gain confidence in Bryce Young, for him to gain confidence in himself. For the Falcons, it's a great opportunity, obviously, to get back to 500 and be right there still at the top of the division in the NFC South. I think they'll win. It'd be a real bad loss for the Falcons. Real bad. I'll say, I don't know, Carolina's defense isn't that bad. So I'm going to say, but their offense is 20-13 Falcons, something like that. Meanwhile, Jack, good weekend to order DoorDash. When the game goes to timeout, it's time to order on DoorDash. Halftime, ordering time. 2-minute warning, you got it. It's your cue to order in. Get everything you want delivered while you root for your squad. That means burgers, fries, drinks, you name it. And if you have a Dash Pass membership, you can get the new Wendy's Loaded Nacho Cheeseburger delivered. Yep, right now, the Loaded Nacho Cheeseburger is exclusively available with Dash Pass at participating U.S. Wendy's for a limited time. And Jack, you know you need to wash it down with something. So you take things to the next level. Why don't you have a great weekend like I'm going to have of drinking Labatt Blue Lights with your friends or your family or just by yourself watching football. Live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
Next, we've got Chicago Bears at the Cleveland Browns.
Sneaky, fun, cool game. You know, when's the last time a late season Bears-Browns game was a sneaky? The Bears are playing much better. The Bears are playing really good defense. Fields is doing some things with DJ Moore. And the Browns, heck, right now they're the 5 seed. Alone as the 5 seed. They got to keep that, by the way. You want to play against whoever ends up being the worst division winner and keep some heat on the Ravens, although I doubt they would catch them. The Ravens' schedule isn't that easy. This is a game Cleveland needs to win. At home against the Bears, I think they will, but I also think it's going to be an awesome, awesome game. Let's go 24-23, Flacco and the boys.
Next, we got an NFC Central battle, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Green Bay Packers.
Battle of the Bays. I think Chris Berman used to call this like the Bay of Pigs invasion or something like that. Do you, Jack, how much do you know about Chris Berman?
I thoroughly remember him. I've just from his TV, and then my favorite game growing up was ESPN NFL 2K5, and he did like all of the you would break down every game from that like week, and he would narrate them all like he did on SportsCenter.
So, NFL Primetime is my all-time favorite show of my life. It was 7 to 8 o'clock, I think, and this is like before Red Zone, right? So, and this is before before Red Zone and social media. So it was, Jack, the only way really to see the highlights of each game. Mm-hmm. And even as a player, we would like, after the game, hang out till like 6. Maybe we'd push it till 6:30. And then we literally would be like, all right, I'm going home. I want to watch primetime. Because you wanted to see like what plays from the game you were in were on primetime. It was awesome. Love that show. I'm taking the Packers to bounce back. You know, that was a poor performance Monday night. I think they're better than that. You know, the Bucs found a way to win in Atlanta. Kudos to them. I don't think they're really that good, though, or that much better than the Packers for sure. I think the Packers get it done. I think there's a decent amount of points maybe in that one. About 28-27. Dun, 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 dun. Go, Pack, go.
Next, we've got the New York Jets at the Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins going to win. I will say this, though. This game's going to be close, I think. Because the Dolphins beat up O-line. Jack, that's a bad matchup going against this Jets D-line. Bad. Like, this is a losable game for the Dolphins. They better come ready to play or they will lose the game. I just don't really have faith that Zach Wilson plays that well 2 weeks in a row. And I do think Vic Fangio will have a really good plan for him. I think he'll confuse Wilson. I think Wilson turns it over a couple times. I think the Dolphins win the game, but lower scoring than you think. 23-13. No, 23-16 Dolphins.
Next, we've got the New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, when the Saints come marching in. So, I don't know, man. I kind of like the Giants. With the momentum they have right now, the Giants are 6-point underdogs. I don't see, man, I don't know if, I can't remember what I did on the Even Money Betting podcast, but I hope I took the Giants and the point because I think this is a really close, like, field goal game. Now I got to look it up real quick because now I'm curious. Yeah, I took the Giants. Wow, what happened? When I took the Giants, they were getting 4.5 points. Is somebody hurt that I don't know about, Jack?
Not that I'm aware of for either side.
That doesn't happen very often. I don't care what this says. They must know something I don't. I don't care. I'm taking Mahomes or Marinara Mahomes and the Giants to win the game as my upset pick. They got a good vibe going. I don't really think the Saints do. 20-17. G-Men.
Ross's Underdog of the Week.
Next, we've got the Relocation Bowl, the Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans.
Did you see where the Titans are wearing the Oilers throwback against the Texans?
That's cold-blooded.
That is cool. Now, you probably like that, right? Because you're a punk 22-year-old.
No, that's just spitting in the face of your enemy.
I mean, that bothers me. That should be illegal. That's like rubbing it in the face of people that live in Houston. Not a fan of that, Tennessee Titans. I do think this is an interesting game because I don't think Stroud's going to play. He hasn't practiced the last 2 days. Now, the Titans are coming off that Monday night, but they also have some vibes, some good feelings. I think let me see what the spread is. Oh, I was going to say it's an upset, but the Titans are actually favored. That's the only reason why I look at the spreads when we're doing this because I need to know if it's an underdog or not. It is not I'll take the Titans to take care of business against Davis Mills and the boys. 20-17, old Houston Oilers.
Kansas City Chiefs at the New England Patriots.
Yeah, Chiefs. Get right game. Although the Patriots have been playing better defensively, and we know how much the Chiefs have struggled offensively, so this could be a close, competitive game. Remember, Belichick trying everything he can to get every win he can so he can get the Shula record. I just don't think the Patriots will score that much on the Chiefs. Chiefs defense been pretty consistent this year for the most part. Probably a lower scoring win for the Chiefs, 20-16. Kansas City.
Next is the San Francisco 49ers are at the Arizona Cardinals.
Do you know what the San Francisco treat is, Jack?
San Francisco what?
The San Francisco treat.
I do not.
Rice-A-Roni.
Huh.
Anytime someone says, think about the branding of that company. Anytime someone says, like you said, the San Francisco, and before you said 49ers, in my head popped in treat. It used to be this commercial, Rice-A-Roni. It used to be this commercial where they would like run this, or they would be on those trolleys or whatever in San Francisco. Anyway, nobody cares. Let's go Niners 27, Cardinals 17.
Washington Commanders at the Los Angeles Rams.
Speaking of nobody cares, Rams get back to 500. Good scheduling at this point. Let's go Rams 23, Commanders 16. I don't know. Ron Rivera, it's always weird this time of year where there's like a coach who's clearly like a dead man walking. It's not a good feeling.
Dallas Cowboys at the Buffalo Bills.
What an awesome game. I mean, both these teams need this game like blood. Cowboys got to win it to stay atop the NFC East. The Buffalo Bills need to win it for the playoff race. I don't think it's like crazy far-fetched that these teams could play against each other again in the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't think that'll happen just because it's hard for them both to get there, but that would not shock me at all if it was a Bills-Cowboys Super Bowl. Cowboys are my second best team right now, and the Bills are my fifth best team in my power rankings. So, of course, it wouldn't shock me. I'm going to go with the Bills because playing at home, I haven't checked the weather. I know it's going to be cold. It's just a matter of how cold it's going to be. That's interesting. I'm getting a FaceTime, and that comes through. Did you hear that, Jack?
I did hear. That's why I started laughing.
I've never seen that before. So I have my phone on silent, but it comes through on my MacBook. It was a FaceTime video call. Comes through on my MacBook. I'll have to tell my daughters because that was from our nanny's phone as they're going to school right now. I think they're fighting. I'll have to tell them, hey, you can't do that when I'm recording stuff. Can't happen. Anyway, I better hurry up. All right, I like the Bills to win the game. Awesome, awesome game. 27-24, Buffalo.
Baltimore Ravens at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Whew. I kind of have a feeling like the Jags are going to win. The Jags are due for a win. They've lost a couple in a row. Sunday night, they need the game badly. The Ravens coming off overtime. I'm sure the Ravens are favored, right? So, yes, this is an underdog pick by me. I'm taking the Jags. You know, I think the Ravens defense is playing real good, but I'm a little bit concerned with some of the things I saw from them offensively. I don't think they'll get those big plays. I think it's a fun game. Maybe the same score as the last game. I'll change it up a little bit. 27-23, Jags.
Ross's Underdog of the Week.
And we'll wrap up the most unhinged episode of Friday Picks with the battle for Kelly Green, Eagles-Seahawks.
Why is it the battle for Kelly Green?
They both wore Kelly Green in the 90s.
The Seahawks did not wear Kelly Green.
I think it's technically considered like a Kelly Green.
Blue?
there's the alternate, like the other color on the Seahawk, the thing on the stripes, like their second color.
Okay, maybe, but that doesn't mean it's a battle for Kelly Green. It's a reach, Jack. It's a reach. At any rate, I'm going to take the Eagles. I just have a tough time picturing them losing 3 games in a row. It is interesting that Geno Smith coming back makes this a good game. Let's go 31-23. I think the Eagles offense has a big day, and I think we're done here.
Thanks for tuning in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Make sure to also check out Even Money, Fantasy Feast, and College Draft, all on the DraftKings Network, YouTube, or subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform.
Shout out to myfrontpagestory.com. As a reminder, it's the best gift you could possibly get someone for the holidays. And even better, if you get somebody a gift from myfrontpagestory.com, email it to me, ross@rosstucker.com, and I'll definitely send you a signed press pass. Love backofficeschedule.com, go-bengals.com, steakhousesports.com, humanheadnyc.com, Sporticulture, and Pizza Boy Brewing.